Good morning, gentlemen. This is the 93rd segment of Think Before You Speak, the laws of Shemirat Halashon. Hopefully with clarity and maybe a few stories. Leilu Nishmat, the great Chafetz Chaim, Zechet Tzadik Lebracha. Leilu Nishmat, the great Reb Chaim Kanievsky, Zechet Tzadik Lebracha. Leilu Nishmat, Yididi Ahovi, Reb Zecharia Wallerstein, Zechet Tzadik Lebracha. And Leilu Nishmat, Luz Aliza Bat Henriette and her children that passed with her in the fire. Ruach Hashem Tenichenam Began Eden. These halachot are dedicated for the Hatzlacha and the Shemirat and the Siyata D'Shmaya V'Abnei Chabura that learn in the Kollel every morning, the Balabatim Kollel, from 9 to 11:30. Hashem should bless them with Banei Chaim Zone Reviche. And these halachot are also specifically dedicated for the Shmir Ma'aliyah, the Hatzlacha Gdola, Siyata D'Shmaya of Chaim David Omer Chayesar. Okay, today, the name of today's halachot, regards. Regards. That's the name. And you're going to hear in a moment why. So I want you to picture this for a minute. A lot of times, you bump into people and they say, hey, I just bumped into your best friend. He sends regards. I just bumped into your brother. I was in Lakewood. I bumped into your brother. I get this all the time. I was just in LA. I just bumped into Rabbi Ari. He sends regards. I was just bumped in Cleveland. Rabbi Yossi, he sends regards. Rabbi Avi in Lakewood, he sends regards. People love sending regards. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but they send you regards. It's a way of saying, I bumped into someone that you're close with. They send regards. Did they actually send regards? No, but they send regards. They sent regards. So here, today's story is that you're walking in the street and you bump into a friend and he says, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you. I was just in Israel and I bumped into your consuegro. By the way, consuegro means machatenis in the community lingo. I just bumped into your machatonim. I just bumped into your consuegro in Israel. And you look at the guy and say, oh, very nice. Yeah, they sent regards. I said, thank you so much. By the way, I want you to tell you that when I was speaking with your machatenist in Israel, when I was speaking with your consuegro, they were telling me how good of a guy you are and how lucky I am to be friends with someone like you. And they were just going on and on how good of a person you are. So, wow, thank you. That means a lot to me. I appreciate it. And then the guy turns around and says, it's just funny to me. How did this happen? An Israeli family in Israel getting along with an American family here in America. I mean, they don't really speak English much. And, it's like just weird. Like, how do the families get along so well? An Israeli family with an American family, consuegro, mechutanim. And he says, in truth, when I was talking to your consuegro, he said, yeah, listen, it's not the easiest because he said that your Hebrew isn't that great. But at the end of the day, they work it out. To tell you that your consuegro in Israel said that your Hebrew is not that great, although he didn't really say anything bad. Not every American has perfect Hebrew. But just for saying that line that he said to you, about you, that your Hebrew wasn't that great, is already considered rechilut. Because there is an opportunity there for the moment for myself to say, what? Really? My consuegro thinks that my Hebrew isn't that great? For that moment, I can get a little bit of an ill feeling that, oh, why did he say that? He really thinks that about me? Why did he say that about me? For that alone, it's considered a rechilut and it's asur to say. This is amazing. It's forbidden to tell one Jew that another Jew said about them something that, although it's not really an insult, to say that the guy's Hebrew isn't perfect is not such a terrible insult, but it might cause him some bad feeling. It might cause him some offense. For that alone, you're not allowed to say to that person what the other person said if there's going to be a little bit of an ill feeling. Or you're not even allowed to tell over what someone else said about another person if it has a connotation that might be taken in a way that's not so good. For instance, your consuegro said, wow, in your house, they're always cooking. Is there anything wrong with that? I'd like that, honestly. It's a house that, it's always lively, cooking, there's always food available. You're not walking to Grandma Hubbard's cupboard, there's always food to spare. It's nice. I like houses that you walk in, they're cooking, you can smell it down the block, but not everyone takes it. What did they mean by that they're always cooking? What do they mean? That means that we indulge? They look at us as indulgers? Well, they're saying something about our weight. I've heard people actually say that. You believe that? So although they didn't say an insult, but if something was said, and you're going to repeat that someone said something about another person, and you say over to that other person that they may take it in some offensive way, it's already rechilut, and it's not allowed to be said. If we're going to hint and insinuate between people messages, let's make sure that they're positive. At least that. Thank you for listening.